Hello and thank you for choosing to watch this. Welcome to our YouTube channel once more. My name is El and I'm alright. Okay, today I just want to answer the question. Is it right for my spouse to go through my phone? Is it right for my spouse to go through my phone? Okay, well, uh, I would say yes, right? That would be the first thing that I will say. I will say yes. I know that some of us may say no, and I don't understand why we may say no. For those who say no, I've come to discover that the people who say no because okay, one, the issues always around the phone thing as to whether their spouse can check their phone or not is because people believe of this idea of personal belonging, this idea of personal belonging and personal effects. So people think that their phones are their personal effects. It is very surprising that people think they can open their bodies in sex to their spouse. They can keep their documents at home, their certifications, everything at home. They live in the same house with this spouse. They share the same bed with this spouse, right? But they believe that this same spouse cannot touch their phone. This same spouse maybe washes their own needs, do things with them, everything with them. All those do not fall as personal effect, but for them and to them, their phone, right? If you see people like this, people who have this understanding, it is only their phones that tend to be their personal effect. That oh, see, I don't want you to be checking my phone. I don't want you going through my phone. So they put passwords. They do not share the passwords with their spouse and all of that. I get the background where it is coming from, and that's because many of us still do not understand what marriage is. What marriage is. And let me first of all say this as a lawyer that if you were to go to court and your argument was that the reason why you were wanting to break up with your spouse, or the reason why you were wanting some legal separation and all of that was that your spouse was going through your phone, it may not be sufficient. It may not be enough reason. Yes, you may say, oh, my spouse goes through my phone and replies people on my behalf without my consent and give them replies that I would not have given them and all of that. That's an issue. But that the person just goes through your phone trying to check, okay, what is it that you do? What are the pictures on your phone, the videos on your phone? Who are the people you are talking with? Without having to cross that line of going to reply your emails, of replying your messages and your chat and contacting people and making it appear as though you were the one contacting them without your consent, without your knowledge. That is off. That is off. That is so wrong. We do not support that and the rest. But however, that your spouse just chooses to go through your phone to know what is it that you're doing, to know what is it that is happening in your life and it is around you is not wrong. It's not wrong spiritually, religiously. It's not wrong by our civil laws. It's not wrong by our customs and traditions. It's not wrong by the general morality. In fact, people who feel that their spouse should not check their phones, should not go through their phones, are people who have these beliefs. The first one is the belief of my money is my money. So they don't want their spouse knowing how much they earn, how much they receive, and how they are spending that money and how they are disbursing that money, right? So the first idea of my money is my own is where the moment you choose to get married, you have decided to share your life with your spouse, your life and its entirety, everything about your life, not just share your penis and share your vagina or share your bed. It is the fact that you are sharing everything that has to do with you, your life, the entirety of its its wholeness, its completeness, right? So that idea of my money is my money and not our money would automatically make you not want your spouse to go through your emails, to go through your gadgets, because you don't want them knowing how much you earn, how much you receive, and how you're spending that. Also, another reason why people will say they don't want their spouse checking through their phone is because some people still believe that my friend is my friend, right? But once you get married, your friend has to be the friend of the marriage. Any friend that is not a friend of the marriage, that is not a friend of your family, a friend of your marriage, is a weak chain, is a weak point, is a vulnerable spot for you to actually start for it's a vulnerable spot for your marriage, right? And most of the time, for people who get to do this, it's usually when it comes to friends of the opposite sex. Yes, I do understand that some maybe same friends. Like for example, we have ladies who have friends that they are their gossip partners. They have guys who have friends that encourage cheating or drunkenness and the rest. And your spouse is now saying, no, I don't want you to have this kind of friend. This kind of friend is not good for you. It's not good for our marriage. And so you feel like, no, I know what is good for me. I know the kind of friends I want. I can choose my own friends. You don't have a say to tell me which kind of friends I want to keep and which kind of friends I shouldn't keep, right? People who have this kind of idea and who have this kind of understanding are usually those who will not want their spouse to go through their phone because they don't want their spouse to see the friends they are keeping and the type of friends they are having, the conversation they are having with their friends. We are not just necessarily talking about sexual faithfulness right now. We are not just talking about emotional faithfulness, right? But we are also talking about friendship, right? Any friend, any person who is your close friend, who is your good friend, who you get to chat a lot with and talk a lot with, that is also not a friend of your spouse, and it's also a person you don't want your spouse to know about, right? And it's also a person that your spouse will not approve of, then that person is not good for your marriage. If you're not coming to say that, if that's the reason why you're holding grounds and you're not saying, I don't want to check in my phones, because if you check my phones, you see people I chat with, you see people I talk with, and you start responding, you start doing this and that. You should ask yourself now, when it comes to your scale preference, who is more important, your friends or your spouse? Who is more important, the friendship that you're sharing with that person or the marriage that you have with your spouse? Right? And another thing that make people want to keep their phones is because they feel my family is my family. My family is my family, and so whatsoever conversation, whatsoever things they are doing with their family, they don't want their spouse to be involved because as far as they are concerned, their family is their family. My friend, it does not work like that, because the moment your spouse married you, your family automatically became his or her family by law. Automatically, that's why they are called in-laws. By law, the person does not have a right to choose. If the person has the right to choose, maybe the person would not have chosen your family. But right now, the law compels them to automatically have these people as their family. So if you're having conversations and you're having dealings and relationship with your family that your spouse cannot be part of, that your spouse is not part of, then it is wrong for your marriage. So is it wrong for your spouse to go through your phones? No, it is not wrong. That the person is your spouse. We are not talking about a boyfriend or a girlfriend, or we are talking of a friend, or we are talking about a colleague. We are talking about your spouse. Your spouse. Now, for any reason that will make you not want your spouse to go through your phone means that you are doing something wrong. It means that on that particular issue, you are being unfaithful to your marriage and you are being unfaithful to your spouse. Unless you are trying to plan a surprise for your spouse. That's why, okay, you may want to be keeping your phone. But, hey, the moment you start keeping your phone, you are now becoming unfaithful. Because, see, a spouse is supposed to have complete and total access to your life. That's just the truth. Well, I do understand that there are some spouses that, their head used to touch, right? They just see you having a conversation with somebody of the opposite sex and they think that you're cheating, or they just go ahead and start replying people, responding to emails, replying people, attacking people, collecting numbers from your phone and attacking those people and the rest. Yes, I do understand that some people's head, it touches. But then we must come to the understanding that you are the one who chose this person. You chose your spouse. So you have to accept liability. You have to accept liability of your choice. Your choice. You are the one that chose this person, right? And of course, if this person is behaving and acting this way, like what I've seen from experience as a counselor, it is because you have betrayed their trust at a particular time. Usually it is because of how you related with them, how you related with the people around them, why you were dating. Sometimes we've come to discover that some of these people, they were actually cheating on a partner with their spouse, with their present spouse right now. Right, their present spouse was maybe the side chick or the side dude or the other guy, right? So they were cheating on the person. Why? With this particular person. So this person is more or less like thinking that, oh, if he can do it to his ex and marry me, why can't he also do it to me? Or sometimes it could just be the lifestyle that you have lived over time. You have not shown yourself to be trustworthy. You have not shown yourself to be transparent. And the truth about it is that if you're keeping your phone and you're keeping your devices to yourself, you are not transparent in your marriage. And if you are not transparent in your marriage, you cannot compare You cannot compare and command and desire and demand trust from your spouse. Your spouse is not obligated to trust you. Your spouse is not obligated to believe in you if he or she cannot categorically say that you are transparent in your marriage. So this is just my answer. Well, you may not like it, but the truth about it is that we are talking about your spouse here, not your boyfriend, not your girlfriend. Thank you so much for watching this video. My name is El and I'm alright. Right? Do remember to subscribe, drop a comment, send us WhatsApp message, and we'll respond to you. Also remember to share this with your friends so I get to learn the same things that you're learning. Thank you so much for watching this. You rock.